Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So who remembers what we did in last class? Anybody remembers? Yes? Okay, Vishwa, go ahead.
Mataji, we have said that Guru Vishwamitra, a king told them that he wants to go in heaven in the same body. So
I think you missed some portions. Last week we talked about Ayodhya Kanda. We already started Ayodhya Kanda, meaning we were talking about how Ram was going to be coronated and how Mantra actually spoiled the plan by going to Kaikeyi and telling her that your son Bharata has to become the ruler of the kingdom. And then Bharata, what happened? I mean, the thing is, Kaikeyi's mood got changed. Her consciousness changed because of Mantra's influence, and that is why we said we should actually avoid bad association. So people like Mantra, she was able to corrupt the mind of Kaikeyi, even though she was good initially. And then we happened to see that when on the day when Ram was going to be coronated, Ram was asked to come and meet Dasharath. And whenever Kaikeyi happened to talk about Ram being sent to the forest, Dasharath Maharaj, he just fainted because he could not tolerate and he could not bear the fact that Ram was going to go to the forest, and that separation from him made him faint every time. And Kaikeyi requested Ram to be sent to the forest. And Kaikeyi said, I don't want anything else, but I want only this boon. This boon that Ram should not be coronated and my son Bharata should be coronated. And on top of it, Ram has to go to Vanavas. He has to go to the forest. And this is what I want. So accordingly, what happened was so this has to be somehow communicated to Ram. And when Ram entered the chambers of Dasharath and Kaikeyi, Dasharath Maharaj fainted, right? And he was not in a position to share anything with Ram. And when Ram questioned what was the reason, why is Dasharath Maharaj in anxiety? Why is he sad? Kaikeyi said, see Ram, I had this boon from Dasharath, and according to the boon, I really didn't want the boon that time, but now I want that boon to be fulfilled by Dasharath Maharaj. And my boons are as follows. One is that you have to go to the you should not become the king of Ayodhya. My son Bharata has to become the king of Ayodhya. And the second thing is that Ram, you have to go to the forest, and you should not you should stay in the forest for 13 years. So this is what I want from you. And Ram, immediately on hearing the news from Kaikeyi, said, no problem. I will certainly follow your instructions, mother. You could have directly told me about this. I would have certainly obeyed your command instead of going to even Dashrath Maharaj. I am ready to do whatever you say, because you are my mother and I'm ready to obey your command. Like that, he happened to tell Kaikeyi, and this way, Ram's ceremony that day was not going to happen. Instead, he was going to go to the forest, and he. So this is exactly what happened. So the thing is, Ram, upon hearing the news, if we were to think of us, how would we react? We would become angry at that person who is communicating this kind of bad news to us. But we have to learn from Lord Ram how we have to act in this kind of situation. He was not disturbed. He was not agitated at all. Without an indication of displeasure, he cheerfully replied, my dear mother, I shall immediately retire to the forest. As you desire, let the messengers be sent at once to summon Bharata. I have no regrets. My only wish is that you and my father may look upon me favorably. My dear mother, please don't harbor any ill feeling towards me. So, both of you, I just want you to look at me favorably, have a favorable inclination with me, and not otherwise. I really don't want you to have any sort of ill feeling upon me. So, this is what I want of you. And Kaikeyi examined with delight. It is settled. It is settled. I got Ram to agree to go to the forest. And not only that, my son Bharata is now going to become the king of Ayodhya. I am successful in my attempt. So she was overjoyed. And then now what happened? Send the messengers to my brother's house so that my son may come here at once. I want my son to come here at once. As for you, Rama, I urge you to depart for the forest without delay. You should not delay going to the forest. I want you to go right now. And this is my order. Do not worry about your father. Don't worry about him. The moment he is bewildered, but after your departure, he will come around. He will become all right. You don't have to worry about him. The moment you go, he will become all right. Don't worry. Ram then said, my dear mother, it grieves me that my father has not ordered himself. But I'm ready to depart to the forest on your command alone. As I told you, he was ready to go to the forest. I would have been happy if my father was able to deliver this news to me. But since he is not in a position to do, I'm ready to obey to your command as well. Hearing this conversation, Maharaj Dasharath could only mutter, how painful, how terrible this is. Like that, he was just murmuring. He could only mutter that much only he can take, right? I mean, imagine your position if you're so attached to your son, and if your son on the day of ceremony, if he has to be uh, going to go to the forest, and there will be a lot of wild animals, so many things, right? How will a parent feel when your son has to go to the forest and take care of himself all alone? It is a very sad news, and that is the reason why Dasarath Maharaj was feeling the intense feeling of separation. And even at that time, when Vishwamutra Muni wanted him to take him to the forest, he was so scared. How can Ram manage the situation? How can poor Ram, how can he be taking care of the demons? I mean, I can fight with you. I can fight with the demons. But not Ram. I'm not ready to send Ram. That was the mood of Dashrath Maharaj. He was so concerned about Ram. So now with Kaikeyi finished speaking, when the Kaikeyi is finished speaking, the king again fainted onto the floor. Then Ram gently lifted up his father. He told Kaikeyi, I don't want to live in this world as a slave to greed and passion. Like the rishis, I am devoted to righteousness. I would never give up the path of virtue for the sake of ruling a mere kingdom. Dear mother, there was no need in bothering my father. If you simply asked me directly, I would have unhesitantly given you the kingdom and retired to the forest. See, so the thing is, what Ram is trying to say through this pastime is, see, he was not at all attached to the kingdom as such. So it was not the opulence that attracted Lord Ram. He's saying, I'm not going to succumb to this world that is to greed and passion. See, there are so many things this world has to offer. If you just open the computer, you can be tempted and go into so many things. There are so much engagement just in a computer, imagine. But how much this material world has to offer? So much this material world has to offer. And Lord Ram is saying, I'm not at all inclined to be a slave of greed and passion. If you ask your parents, I want this, I want that, and if your parents don't get you, you start crying, right? And that means you have become you have become a slave to greed and passion. When you don't get the things you want, or when your parents don't talk the way you want, then you're acting according to your modes, right? The modes are sattva, rajas, and tamas. Specifically, passion and ignorance is where we tend to go. And when we don't get what we want, that means, and when we start reacting very abnormally, when you start using harsh words to your parents or speaking angrily to your parents, that means you're influenced by mode of anger. And during the time of anger, you don't know how you react, you don't know what you speak. You like speak like a drunkard man, intoxicated person. He doesn't know what he's talking. He blabers because he's not able to control his mind. Likewise, when you're anger, You're being controlled by the mode of passion and you don't know what you speak. So this is what he says. I don't want to become like that. And I just don't want to, uh, mm, I would never give up the path of virtue for the sake of ruling a mere kingdom. Never will I give up my path of virtue. There is you should not have bothered my father. You should have directly asked me, and I would have gone to the forest and I would have given the kingdom to who? Your son Bharata. That is what he said. You could have directly asked me instead of going a roundabout. You're going to ask to Dashrath Maharaj and then you're coming back to me. Instead, you could have directly asked me. I could have definitely given you what you wanted. And Rama now bowed to Dashrath Maharaj and Kaikeyi and departed to tell his mother the news. So he is now going to tell his mom the news. Lakshmana, who heard everything at the door, followed his elder brother. Lakshmana is always curious. How can I serve Lord Ram? How can I be of help to him? What can I do to help him alleviate in the situation? So he's always with him, ready. See, somebody, whenever we ask for some sort of, even at home, if you are going to ask your son or daughter, if parents are going to say something, can you do this for me? The child will immediately say, why should I do it for you? Right? That is not at all a mannerism. Vaishnava etiquette says you should obey to the command of your parents. Whenever they are asking you for service, immediately, oh mom, I'm ready to do this for you. How can I be of help to you? Is there anything that you need that I can be of help? That relationship is what a parent and a child should have. The child should read, because parents, they say serve you selflessly, right? The reason you are able to have a life that you are having now is because of your parents. And not only that, the feeling of gratitude must be there, but again, there is a sense of responsibility, right? I mean, you came into this world through your parents and we are always indebted to your parents that way. So whenever they ask you for some service, instead of responding in a grudging way, you should respond to them in a sweet and calm way. That way, that relationship will grow and nourish. Okay, and that way you will have a very good bond with your parents. You will not tend to hide anything from your parents because of that attachment and affection that you have with your parents. Okay, that is very important mood that we need to cultivate and learn from Lord Ram. So and of course Lakshman. So Ram, what is he going to do now? He is going to go and communicate this news to Kaushalya Mata. As the two brothers left the place, a pitiful wailing was heard from all who found about Ram's impending exile. So now there is sorrow all over the kingdom because Ram is not going to be coronated as king anymore. People also start to feel depressed because when there is a good king, everybody would want to have such a good king so that they can all learn from him. However, a leader is, the people follow him, right? So this is the mood that now we can all see how attached the people are to Lord Ram. And when they heard this news that Ram was not going to be coronated anymore, they all went into depression. When Maharaj Dashrath heard those cries of lamentation, he hid himself under the bed sheets in shame. Can you imagine the situation of Dashrath Maharaj? He hid himself in the bed sheets. So how cruel can it be for him to come and face the world, because everybody is starting to lament and cry, and out of despair everybody is here. I mean, he's able to hear the cries of the people outside too, and in order to protect himself he could not tolerate it, and then he was hiding himself under the bed sheet in shame. And when Lord Ram entered Kaushalya's apartment, he was joyfully greeted into his mother's room. When he came in, she immediately embraced him, saying, I'm so happy for you, Lord Ram. You will be installed as the successor to the throne. With gentleness and humility, Ram replied. So how sad is the situation? Can you imagine a situation where your mom, she doesn't know about what has happened, and she's so joyfully coming to embrace you, and she's going to tell you, oh Lord Ram, I'm so happy for you that you're going to be coronated. You have to imagine the situations that are happening. Okay, are you all with me so far, kids?
Yes,
And
Mataji.
so we all know that
Yes, ma'am.
we all know that we will be having a question and answer session at the end. So Varun, can you turn on your video, and Aditya also, others, if you can turn on a video, that will be great.
Mataji,
Yeah.
I'm going to notes, so my video will turn off.
Okay, no problem. Whatever, whenever you can, okay? So with gentleness and humility, Ram replied, "My dear mother, please don't allow yourself to be overcome by grief at what I must tell you." He's preparing Mother Kaushalya to hear about what that grief is. So she's saying, so be prepared to hear about the grief that I'm going
So
to tell.
Mataji,
Yes.
that grief is Kaikeyi and Kaikeyi forcing him to go in exile?
Correct. Kaikeyi is not forcing Ram immediately. She's not forcing him because Ram is ready to obey to her commands. It's not like he's being dragged and pushed into the forest or something. Okay. At this point, Ram is totally. He never even got agitated when Kaikeyi happened to give him this bad news. But we know in Bhagavad Gita a very important verse, Anudvega Karam Vakyam, right? Anudvega Karam Vakyam Satyam Hitam Priyam Chayat, right? So how we have to give a news to somebody? See, you should not go and agitate a person. So the austerity of speech is that we should never agitate anybody, right? Even if you are going to communicate the truth has to be told in a palatable way, in a way that the other person can digest the news. Oh, mom, what do you know what happened? The neighbor passed away in an accident. You should not give such sudden bad news to somebody, even though that news is true. We should look for the situation. We see here Lord Ram, how he is actually dealing with the situation. He's going to his mom and he's saying, see, I'm going to tell you a bad news now, and don't get into grief because of that. Okay.
Wait, so Mataji, like you're basically warning the person before saying the bad news that this is going to happen.
Correct. Exactly. Satyam here. So Satyam, you're saying the news that it's true, but at the same time, you're giving a warning to the person that this news is not going to be palatable and you should not become overcome by grief. So Ram is really warning Kaushalya Mata. Okay, he's saying, because of two benedictions that my father promised Kaikeyi, Bharata will be installed as their heir apparent to the throne, and this very day I shall leave to Ayodhya to dwell in the forest for 14 years. So he's saying that because of the boon that Kaikeyi happened to get from Maharaj Dashrath has promised her.
But it was 13 years.
And so because of that reason,
Mataji, this is Govinda. I have a question. But in the Mahabharata, the Pandavas need to in the forest for 13 years, and Ramayana is for 14 years.
Yeah, you got it, baby. Correct.
Kids, I have a request. Please ask question in the end, otherwise I can mute for everyone. Please follow the Sarthi Foundation rules. Otherwise, I can mute for everyone. No question answer session in the meaning of in the continuously of the terms. It's request. Please follow the rules. You are in the class. You are not in the home. Please follow.
So let's all try to follow the rules, okay? So at the end, just another 20 minutes. After that, we'll have a question and answer session. At that time, you can definitely put for your questions. Okay, hearing this, Kaushalya immediately fainted to the floor. How can she tolerate the news, right? Then after Rama tenderly lifted Kaushalya to her feet, she bitterly lamented. What great misery could befall me than this? It would be better for me to have remained childless. Why has death not come to me instantly upon hearing this news of you going to the forest for 14 years? So this is what is Kaushalya Mata's mood. My younger co-wives will surely despise me now. By hearing these taunts, my life will be made doubly miserable. I cannot.
Mataji, what was Kaushalya's feeling?
Huh?
How did Kaushalya feel?
Yeah, I'll tell you. You should not ask any questions. You can message me, okay? Okay, so Kaushalya, what happened was he fainted on the floor upon hearing this news. And then Lord Ram, he lifted Kaushalya like that. He lifted her just so that she could be comforted, and she put Kausalya onto his feet. And she bitterly lamented, what great misery could befall me than this? this is such a great misery. Nothing can be more than this sort of misery. It would be better for me to have remained childless. I could have better been childless, right? Because they did so much, yeah, they yajna, and then after that only they the fall of the yajna was shared amongst the wives, and then they became pregnant, right? They were childless for a long time, and so she's saying, "Oh, I could have just remained childless like that. Why has death not come upon me instantly? I should have rather died upon hearing this news of you going to the forest, O Lord Ram. Why has death not come upon me?" So this is what is, and she's saying that by hearing the taunts, I mean, she's saying that all the co-wives will be troubling her because of this reason, and she will be taunted through her whole life, and because of which she's going to become miserable. Like that, she is actually communicating this her grievance to Lord Ram. Until then, Lakshmana had controlled his rage. We all know about Lakshmana, right? However, no longer was he able to remain silent. He suddenly burst out, "Oh Lord Ram, our father has become a snail and perverse, being overpowered by lust. He has become a plaything in the hands of wicked Kaikeyi. Why should we passively stand by and accept this? A father or a king or a spiritual master who cannot distinguish between what should and should not be done must be rejected, Lord Ram. You should now take over the government immediately before everyone hears of a king's decision to install Bharat. Besides, even if we are all ministers and citizens have found out, if they are against your installation, I am prepared to annihilate the whole of Ayodhya if necessary. My dear mother, you should know that at least, I am loyal to Lord Ram. Indeed, I am ready to kill the foolish Dasharath if it is necessary to install Lord Ram upon the throne." So this is what was Lakshmana's mood. So now there will be a character analysis question that will be asked. How was Mother Kaikeyi? How was Mother Kaushalya? How was Lakshmana? Like that. So Lakshmana, he could not control his anger. What did he say? "I'm ready to kill even Dasharath Maharaj because he is foolishly doing something. He doesn't know what is right and what is wrong, and he is acting in a very foolish manner." And so the spiritual master, father, or the king, what he should do is he should differentiate between what should and should not be done and must be rejected. But here, that is not what is going on. "Lord Ram, I'm asking you to go and sit on the throne immediately. If anybody is rejecting to this, I can kill everybody. I can annihilate the whole of Ayodhya if necessary." My
Who's
dear,
saying this?
this is said by Lakshmana. And then Lord Ram is saying, "See, I'm very, very loyal to Lord Ram." Lakshmana is saying this. "My dear mother, you should know I'm loyal to Lord Ram. Indeed, I'm ready to kill the foolish Dasharath also if necessary to install Lord Ram upon the throne." And he is overpowered by lust, meaning he has become a henpecked husband. What is henpecked or what is attachment here? We all know about Bhagavad Gita, right? In Bhagavad Gita, what happened? We see that Dhritarashtra was overly attached to Duryodhan. So even though he was making mistakes, he did not punish him or he did not correct him. A good parent must correct whenever the child makes mistakes. Even though the child is not happy about the correction part, they should correct. If they are not good parents, they will just leave it to him. I mean, if they are overpowered by lust, if they are overpowered by attachment, those people, they will be blinded completely and they will not even correct a bad person who's a bad son or a bad daughter. She's actually going into the drain by not having a good behavior. And if the parent is not correcting, then what is the status of the child? The child will get into more misery in the later half, right? And that is the reason parent immediately corrects. As soon as they find out that the child is not doing right thing, immediately the parent corrects, even though the child doesn't feel happy about it. The child gets angry at the fact that the parent is actually correcting him because he wants to have that freedom, and he doesn't know that he is bound by lust or he is bound by passion, because of which he is acting in a certain way. And this parent, because he has the experience and knowledge, is able to see what the consequences of this are, and he corrects the son or daughter. And that son or daughter, she immediately gets angry because whatever she thought was the right thing was not fulfilled. And here in the situation, we see, so the Lakshman is actually saying that my father, he is not able to distinguish what is right and what is wrong. And that is true, because he always was attached to Kaikeyi, and because of that attachment he gave her the boon. And those days, whenever somebody gives a boon, it was automatically followed. And a wise man must know that these ladies, whenever they are given a boon, because of their emotional nature, they may misuse it. So a good situation might have been to avoid giving the boons to the boons to anybody for that matter, because we never know when some boon will be misused, right? So that is why he's saying he is overpowered by lust. Okay. And then what happened was, Kausalya, however, did not care for the kingdom. Very important point. She did not care for the kingdom. She only feared the separation from her beloved son. She said, "Oh Lord Ram, please don't go on exile. It will be more virtuous for you to stay here and please your poor mother than to go to the forest." The thing what she didn't like about it was, see how nice she is also. She's also not attached to the kingdom. Oh, my son should become the king and all the maid servants should come and obey me, should come and take care of me. That was not her intention at all. And immediately when she heard this news, I'm okay with the fact that you are not going to be crowned as a king. I'm fine with that. But what I'm not happy about is you leaving me and going to the forest. That separation is something that I cannot tolerate. That is what I really don't want. I want you to stay here rather than going to the forest. Rama, if you leave Ayodhya, then I will have to fast to death, for life will become unbearable for me. I cannot tolerate the fact that you have to go to the forest. I'm going to fast to death. If that's going to happen, that you need to go to the forest, then I will fast to death. Rama replied, "Mother, it is not possible for me to disobey my father. Therefore, you must give me your permission so I depart for the forest at once. The order of father can never be avoided." See how nicely he is following the instructions of the father. He's saying the order of the father can never be avoided. Just consider how Parashuram beheaded his own mother Renuka on the order of father Jamadagni. Likewise, the sage Kantu killed a cow at his father's command. Therefore, I too must obey my father. When Parasuram was asked to kill his mom because Jamadagni, his father, wanted him to do so, he immediately killed her when the other sons were not ready to. But immediately what happened was, Jamadagni, he was able to revive the mother, Renuka. Even though she was killed, he was able to revive her through mystic powers. And that's how Parasuram was able to get back his mother. So he knows how much father can, how powerful his father is, and hence he followed his command immediately. So Ram is citing these examples just to prove to the fact that so we are supposed to obey the orders of the parents, especially father. Turning to Lakshmana, Ram said, "My dear brother, do not allow yourself to come under the sway of all-devouring wrath. Give up the idea of seizing the throne by force and accept the order of our father. We should never devour. See, we should not force and get the kingdom by force. That's not what I want. I just want to accept the order of my father. This is what I want." Ram again addressed Kausalya, "My dear mother, please do not torture yourself or talk of ending your life. After the term of my exile is over, I will certainly come to you. I will come back to you. After my exile for 14 years, I'm going to come back to you, mother. So don't torture yourself by saying such words. Therefore, please give me your blessing so I may depart without unnecessary remorse." See how he is asking for blessing from her parents. Whenever we have an opportunity to get blessings from your parents, we should immediately do, especially in the night before going to bed. You should take your blessings of your parents so you have a very nice, calm sleep. Not only that, whenever you are going for any good auspicious, whenever you are going to write a test, you're going to give a performance, get your blessings of your parents. They are always your well-wishers, and we should, Appa, Amma, can you bless me? Mom, Dad, can you please bless me so that I may able to perform to my best? This is something we need to cultivate. Okay, so that is also another learning that we learn from Lord Ram. So how Lord Ram is asking blessings from Kausalya Mata is something that we have to imbibe in our life too. So this Ramayan pastime the Lord has given to us because he wants us to realize and understand how our mood should be, how we should actually function in this material world. This material world is Dukale Mashashwatam. We cannot escape from the miseries. So how are we supposed to deal with the miseries? How are we supposed to act at that times? Or how are we supposed to act in general? Because our mind has to be satisfied, our heart has to be satisfied. And for that, if we do all these things, it will be good for us. So all of these things are coming back to us because Lord Ram, he's our supreme father and he wants us to benefit out of this pastime. So this Krishna Katha or Rama Katha has to go into our hearts and we should start to imbibe the instructions of Ramayana. Okay, Lord Ram addressed Kausalya and he said this. Okay, Kausalya, however, could not cry in desperation. She's ladies in general are very emotional and she could never stop her crying. Then Lord Ram became stern and said to Lakshmana, "You are both causing me more grief by opposing my desire to honor my father's command. I will not be swayed from my duty." So she's saying, I'm not going, see, you both are causing a lot of distraction to me. I want to follow my father's command and you both are not allowing me to do so. This is not at all right. Lakshmana, you're also asking me to take the kingdom by force and you're saying you will annihilate entire Ayodhya, which is not what I want. And I also don't want. So my mom, she's also crying and she's making me feel emotional and not allowing me to go to the forest. I really want her blessing, but she's not in a position to give me the blessings. Both of you are not allowing me to follow my father's command. Then to pacify Lakshmana, Rama said, "My dear brother, as soon as Bharata is installed, all of this will be forgotten. Then you will be easily able to give up your grief. Do not blame Kaikeyi, for she is only the instrument in the hands of Providence, the real shaper of destinies." So she's acting according to the destiny. She's acting according to the will of the Providence. And you should not blame Kaikeyi. She's just being used as an instrument here. Lakshmana, he refused to be pacified. He angrily retorted, "Oh Lord Ram, it appears that you have become impotent, for you have given up your Kshatriya reliance on your personal prowess and you are surrendering to destiny. I am not going to be an anch like you. However, I shall subdue fate by my own power. I will install you on your throne, on this throne, this very day." You are acting like a coward. You're a Kshatriya. You have a Kshatriya blood and you are not acting like a Kshatriya. What is this, Ram? I'm going to make you the emperor of Ayodhya right now. I can do that. I'm not going to be taken away by your words. You're saying, oh, it's all the destiny. Because of destiny, it's happening. I'm not going to buy that. I'm going to make you the king right now and change the destiny on your favor. This is what I will do. Like that, Lakshmana happened to revert back to Lord Ram. Hearing this, Kaushalya could understand. Nothing could deter Ram. So Kausalya could understand as a mother, nothing is going to change the mind of Lord Ram. He is so stubborn. Then she pleaded, "Oh, my son, if you are determined to execute your father's command, then please allow me to accompany you to the forest. I'm asking you only one thing. I want to also come with you to the forest. If you can take care of my wish that way, I'm ready for that." Rama replied, "My dear mother, after being deceived by Kaikeyi and deserted by you, my father would certainly give up his life. The foremost duty of a chaste and virtuous wife is to never leave her husband under any circumstance." Another important learning. A chaste wife, she will never leave the husband in any circumstance. Be it honor, dishonor, anytime anything happens to her husband, she is going to stay with her husband. Even if he was a king and he lost everything, she is still going to become with him. I mean, she's going to still be with him, even though he has nothing. Or if he lost all his honor and respect and everything to people, even then that chaste wife will remain with the husband, serving him the way she served him before. And regardless of how noble or religious a woman may be, she commits sin if she fails to serve her husband. That is why whenever we whenever we get into this act of marriage as a sacrifice. We promise to all the devatas and the supreme personality of Godhead that I will stay with this person ever, lifelong. And that is the commitment I promise. And together, as husband and wife, we will be performing devotional service. So this is the mood with which we operate when we get married. If sometime later in your life, you may all get married or you may not. But the point is, when we get married, we are not going to leave that person at any point in time. We have to always stay with that person and remain chaste to that particular person, whoever is married. Like how we can't change our parents, we can't change our wife or husband. We have to perform the act of devotional service by being with that person forever. So we have to pray to Krishna that we get a Krishna conscious wife or a Krishna conscious husband. Okay, a wife's duty is to please and obey her husband and no one else. This is the verdict of all scriptures. Please, then remain with my father and wait for me. I shall return after 14 years without fail. So the duty of a chaste wife is that she has to remain with her husband, and you should go and remain with your husband. That is what is important. And that is what a chaste wife will do. And I will come back after 14 years, so don't worry of me. Kaushalya gave up her hope of accompanying Lord Ram and finally agreed to give him her blessings. So she is going to give him the blessings now. After giving Rama's permission to depart to the forest, Kausalya induced the Brahmanas to perform sacrifices for her son's well-being. Kaushalya declared, "May you return so that my happiness will be restored. May righteousness be your protector. May the demigods protect you, and may the celestial weapons defend you. May heaven and earth and air and wind and land and water and all animate and inanimate beings protect you. May day and time and night, the sun, moon protect you. May you be happy. O Lord Ram, for my blessing shall go with you." She wants everything in this world to protect Lord Ram. Everything, inanimate objects, sun, moon, all the demigods, everybody she wants, all of them she wants Lord Ram to be protected. And here are my blessings for you, my dear Lord Ram. Like that she said. Sita, what happened now? Sita is coming into picture. Sita heard nothing of Ram's exile. She had been waiting for him in happy expectation for many hours. When Lord Ram finally entered her room, Sita could immediately see he was pale, he was perspiring, he was troubled. A wife will immediately be able to make out of how a husband feels just by looking at the face. Like even the mothers, when they look at a child, or when a child looks at the mom, "Oh, I see you're troubled. What's going on? You don't look the way you are usually. What is going on?" Like that. Now Sita was able to see this troubled face of Lord Ram, and she said, Rama. Rama was not also accompanied by the usual royal entourage. Sita inquired, my lord, what is the matter? What's going on?" Without hesitation, Ram replied, "My father has ordered me to leave the kingdom and go to the forest. Bharata shall be installed as the heir apparent to the royal throne. Utilizing two boons given long ago by my father to Kaikeyi, Kaikeyi asked me that her son be installed while I am banished to the forest. My dear Sita, I have no other choice than to abide by my father's order. However, I want you to stay here. I want you not to come to the forest, but I want you to stay here. Go daily and offer your daily respects at the feet of my father and follow Bharata's commands implicitly. My dearest, I have come here just to see you before departing for the forest. So he's saying, Sita, you should follow the instructions of my brother, brother Bharata, and you should always pay obeisances to my father. And because the main thing is, if you're not respecting elders, you think you are doing right by not respecting them because you want to follow what your mind says. But that's a very bad etiquette. Whenever we have elders at home, we have to be very cordial with them. We have to be loving with them. We have to show respects to them. See, these are the Vaishnava etiquettes that Krishna wants us to follow. And here, Lord Ram, he says two things. One is, he says, see, you have to obey the commands of Bharata implicitly. And then what you have to do is, you always have to pay respects to my father by bowing down to his lotus feet and offer your respects to him. Hearing the words of Lord Ram, Sita increasingly became agitated. With anger born of love, she replied, "O Rama, my husband, most excellent of men, what advice are you giving me? It is a duty of the wife to share husband's destiny. I must accompany you to the forest. Wherever husband goes, there's where the wife is. So I must accompany you to the forest no matter what, if that is the will of the destiny." A father, mother, brother, son, and daughter-in-law, all of them have separate existence. A wife, however, has no choice but to follow her husband. I can take refuge in anyone else, not even myself. My husband is my only refuge. Therefore, I am determined to follow you. I shall walk behind you and eat only after you have eaten. So those days, the wives, they are so caring, and they will eat only after only when after the husband eats. Wherever the husband is, that is where the wife will be, and that is what Sita Mata is saying. Wherever you are, that is where I will be, and I will eat only after you eat. I shall follow what you I mean, I shall just follow you. I shall walk behind you. I will never do anything to displease you. I shall remain happy to gaze at the hills, lakes, and rivers. I will never become tired, for I will feel secure in your care. When you are there, I will not feel worried in the forest, because you are there to protect me. So no worries for me. I'll safely be taken care of you. I'll be securely placed in a very good position. I don't even want to live even in heaven if you are not there. Even if there is an opportunity to go to the heaven, I don't want to go there because you won't be there. Oh Lord Ram, it is you alone that I love you. Without you, I will surely die. So he's saying, I'm not going to be happy without you. Without you, I will surely die. So this is what was happening with Lord Ram. Very, I mean, Mother Sita, according to, so now we are going to talk about the character analysis, right? The Mother Sita's analysis is such that when Lord Ram asked her to stay here in the palace, he said two things has to be followed. One is that she has to obey to the commands of Bharata implicitly, and then she has to give respect to the lotus feet of Lord Dasharath. So these are the very important instructions he gave to Mother Sita. And Sita, she said, no, being a chaste wife, I have to follow you. I have to go wherever you are going. I have to serve you. I have to walk behind you. I have to eat only after you eat. And I just, because I am going to the forest, I'm not worried because you are there. You will protect me. So I really don't have to feel worried about the whole situation. I'll be very happy just to look around and see the trees, mountains, water, and all that. I really don't want all these opulences. Any opulence that this world has to offer, without you, I don't want that kind of opulence. Even if I'm asked to go to Surga, I don't want to go to Swarga because you are not there. Wherever you are, that is where I will be. I love you so much. And without you, I will surely die. So this is what was Mother Sita's expression. Okay, so now we will stop here for today and go for the question and answer session, if it's okay. Okay, please raise your hand. Yeah, 1 second. You just raise your hands, all of you all, and then I will ask you questions, and then we can. Okay, Varun, what is the mood of Lakshmana?
Like Rama was like, oh, I will not do this father instructions. I won't do it. And then Lakshmana was like, oh, I will kill the entire Ayodhya if I have to. I will even kill that foolish Dasharath. I will do everything. You are being incompetent. You are losing your kshatriya behaviors, and if you don't come, then if you go, then I most certainly will come with you.
Very good listening. Yes. So he was actually caring for Lord Ram. That's the thing, is he was caring, because of which he immediately acted the way he acted. So it was due to affection or attachment to Lord Ram, he acted in that way. And very nice points that you brought out. And he mentioned that Ram lost his Kshatriya behavior, because of which he's acting in that way. And he said he was ready to annihilate the entire dynasty if just for Ram to be crowned. And what was Lord Ram's response? Lord Ram's response to this Vishwa?
Lord Ram's response was that you should obey my father, and you should not be angry like this.
Yes, yes. So the thing is, we are supposed to obey the order of our father, and we are not supposed to get angry at the situation and be very aggressive, be forceful of getting the throne. So that is not what Lord Ram wanted, and very nicely put, Vishwa and Varun. Thank you so much. Question now goes to Manhar. All of you all who has who has given answers, you can put your hand down. Okay. Manhar?
Yeah.
Okay. So what about Sita, Mother Sita?
She said they said to Lord Ram, yeah, you can't leave me here where even if I would get an opportunity to go to heaven and you are not there, then I won't go, and I will and it's like she said, it's a wife's duty to serve her husband, and um I had it in my mind. I just forgot something.
Yeah, she said she will walk with him. She will walk behind him. She will eat after she eats after Ram eats, and she expresses how much she loves him. Wherever you are, that is where I want to be. I love you so much. Without you, I will die. So this is what Mother Sita mentioned to Lord Ram. And question now to Aditya and then Mihika. Okay,
Okay.
Aditya,
Mm-hmm.
what about Kausalya? Character analysis of Kausalya.
So what Kausalya was saying, she was like in so much love with Rama. She didn't want him to go, but she wasn't attached to the kingdom or anything like that.
Correct.
She just didn't want the separation from Rama, and like she didn't care if he was going away from the kingdom. She just wanted to be with him.
Yes, and what did she say? And what?
Like she said that I just want to what I just said. I just want to be with you, and also
No. What did Ram respond to that?
He responded that I have to do what the father says, right?
No, she asked, what did Kausalya was asked to do? Kausalya was asked to?
She was asked to just be with all the other people, just obey what the king was saying.
No. See, you're confusing between Sita and Kausalya, I think.
Oh.
Okay, so Kausalya was actually asked to stay in the kingdom because wherever the husband is, the chaste wife has to stay.
Oh,
And
yeah.
she being the wife of Dashrath Maharaj, she has to take care of Dashrath Maharaj, and that is the duty of a chaste wife. A chaste wife never leaves the husband at any situation. That is where I gave you the instruction that we should, whenever you get married, you are promising to your wife or what you do eventually is you're promising to all the devatas and the supreme God that you are going to stay with this person forever in your life. So that is why marriage is one time. It is not recommended in the Vedic literature for you to get married twice or thrice or 4 times. Absolutely, it is not a good idea. It is not recommended. It is you are going to reap a lot of karma by doing that. It is to be avoided, and it is like a commitment. If you see, you are all having your parents, you can't change your parents. Likewise, if you get married, we have to stick to that and be chaste to that person, and be involved in doing Krishna consciousness with that person, and that should be the mood that with which you operate. And hence we have to pray to Lord Krishna that you get a Krishna conscious wife, so that you will be able to progress in your devotional life, if at all, if you intend to marry. So this is the understanding and the lessons learned from that particular thing. And Mihika, what are the 2 things that Lord Ram actually told Sita Mata to follow if she is going to stay in the kingdom?
Lord Ram gave Mother Sita two instructions
Mm,
when she was staying in the kingdom.
mm.
First one was to always offer her obeisances and prayers to Rama's father, like King Dashrata, and always obey the instructions of Bharata, King Bharat.
Wonderful, wonderful. Very good listening. Thank you so much, dear Mihika. And then Gobind. What about so Lord Ram? He also told about so when Lakshmana was blaspheming Kaikeyi, how did he actually stop and what did he say to Lakshman when Kaikeyi's name was brought up? When he started to blame Kaikeyi.
Lakshmana
It is a tough question, I believe.
Lakshmana was saying to Kaikeyi. That's why.
Does anybody know this answer? It is a little difficult in that sense. Okay, let me see.
Wait,
The
Mataji, what was the question?
what was see what happened was Dasharath.
Oh, maybe that's why Lakshmana said foolish Dasharath.
No. So when Kaikeyi, it is not about Dasharath at all. When Lakshmana happened
Mataji,
to
what was the question?
Kaikeyi was blamed, right? When Lakshmana blamed Kaikeyi, Rama responded in a certain way when Kaikeyi was blamed. What did Rama say about Kaikeyi? Why she should not be blamed? For that, what did he?
Oh yeah, because she is just like a thing for that. The actual thing is Dasharat who was giving her the three boons, and then the women will be very emotional like that. So it's preferred not to give them the boons.
Correct. It is not preferred, but he used a specific statement. Okay, Mihika.
So what Lord Rama said regarding Mother Keke was that it all matters on destiny. That Mother Keke is just like an instrument which is leading to the destiny. It all matters on destiny. So you can't change. You can't basically like blame her because she's just a instrument which was used to show the destiny, similar like Krishna used Arjuna as the instrument to pass the message of Bhagavad Gita.
Yes, very, very, very good listening. Absolutely correct answer. So the thing is, why people don't blame? See, we have to understand that, right? I mean, whenever something happens to us, we start to blame others. Oh, this is because of that person. It's because of mom. She always comes and intervenes, and that is why it happened. Or it is because of dad. He always, he always has this habit, and only because of them that happened. We don't think about our karma. Okay, we might have done something in our past life, which is why.
Mataji, it's always human tendency to blame others whenever something happens to you.
Correct. And that tendency has to be changed. That is what I'm saying. So the thing is, whenever something happens in our life, we should take it as a mercy of the Lord. Meaning, see, this is happening for my good. Maybe Krishna has better plans for me. Maybe he wants me to learn something out of this. Maybe it is my karma in the past because of which I'm going through such misery. And Krishna, he's so merciful that I was supposed to have a big problem in my life and he has made it really small. So these are the mentalities with which devotees operate. Are you clear? Very, very important learning. If you want to have a peaceful life, whenever problems come, how we should deal with that problem is something that, though I can't change my mind, I always do this, I always overreact, or I always get angry, I can't change my habit. Anything can be changed by the process of devotional service. If anything, a thief can become a devotee, a mrigari, a hunter can become a devotee. It is all possible because bhakti can transform people. So you don't have to be carried away by the fact that you cannot be changed. You can very well be changed. And bhakti has proven that many people in this world has changed so much so that we can't even compare. So we should have trust on Lord Krishna, and we should never give up Krishna consciousness at any time, any trouble, anything. Even if the trouble is unbearable, Krishna knows how much trouble we can tolerate. So that much trouble only he will give first of all. So when such trouble comes, we should never blame the situation. We should never blame other person, but we should think it is it has happened, and it's because of my karma. It is because of the destiny. I'm supposed to face whatever situation that I'm put into. All I need is strength, Krishna, to overcome this, so that I am not distracted in the path of devotional service. Please pray. Whenever you want to cry about your problems, cry to Krishna, and Krishna will rectify the problem, and he will not say, oh, I won't give any problems in your life. But you will know how to deal with the problems. Okay, so this is the important learning that Mihika brought up. Very, very, very good understanding and listening. Absolutely tough question, Govind. So no worries. Next time, okay? All right, so we can all adjourn for today. We can do our obeisances. As I told you, the gratitude, the knowledge that you get from the teacher.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
So, if Dasharath really wanted to come with Ram, then why wouldn't he ask to go to the forest with Ram?
So Dasharatha, he was not even in a position to think, because on hearing the news that Ram has to go to the forest, that itself made him to faint, and he is not going to live for a long time after Ram moving to the forest also. He will soon die. So this feeling of separation is very intense, and so Dasharath, he has to also guide whoever is going to take up the kingdom, right? Whenever see, because he's now transitioning his position as king to his sons. So the son, whoever takes up the throne, will have questions as to how to rule the kingdom. So he has to give guidance to that person also. And he was not in a position to think about anything like how because every time whenever he hears that news, he faints. So absolutely very weak. He was in a very weak position.
And also, who's the one who corrupted Kaikeli?
So Kaikeyi will learn. The time will tell her. Then we learn.
Yeah, but like,
time.
who corrupted her?
Who corrupt Mantra?
Oh, Mantra. Okay.
Yeah, she's the maid servant who has a hunchback. Who's this?
Excuse me, Mataji. I also.
Why doesn't Ram want? Why doesn't Ram? What's the? Why doesn't Ram want to? Why does Ram say no for anybody who wants to come to the
because he doesn't want anybody to suffer with him. Going to the forest is not a luxury, right? Going to the forest is a Herculean task, and they have to survive to summer, winter, there will be no food. They have to give up the opulent life. Why so much trouble? He was just worried about the people who are going to come with him, because it's going to be troublesome for them. And moreover, Kausalya should not come because father Dashrath has to be taken care of. How can he just say, come with me? Whatever right is what Ram is saying, just to make sure that he is he's giving them a chance.
And okay? why did Mandava poison Kaikeli?
That is her nature. Some people's nature is going, so talking at the back of people, complaining about people, ridiculing people, how to corrupt. So because they get that pleasure by doing that. That is her nature. Some people get pleasure by gossiping. Some people get pleasure by corrupting other people's minds. Because for Mantra, she wanted to become, she's the maidservant of Kaikeyi. So when Bharata is thrown, then Kaikeyi will be favored by all of them, and Kaikeyi will be respected more than anybody. And as a servant, she will be getting more respect. Right? She will be given more. All the servants, other servants will be respecting her. And that is what she wanted.
Mataji, I have a question. Vishwa. Okay.
Yeah, Vishwa, go ahead.
Thank you.
So, Mataji, what did Kaikai do to the Dashrath promised her to promised her that he will do whatever she wants.
Yes, that's what she did. I mean, that's why she
What are things does Kaikai done?
Oh, the Kaikei happened to protect Dashrath Maharaj when he was actually fighting a war with the demons. At that time, he actually protected him, because of which he is given a boon.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you.
Yeah, all right. Anybody, any other questions? Can we adjourn?
Mataji, this is
Yeah.
Anand. Kaikai is not bad, right? Mantara just made her bad.
Yeah, that's what we can see. The thing is, anybody can change anytime. So we have to make sure that we are staying in a good association. If we are in a good association and not, if we know Krishna consciousness, then we know what is right and what is wrong. And if we know that, then we'll be able to distinguish. Oh, somebody is trying to asking me, see, say for example, you go to college and you're asked to eat meat. Hey, meat is so tasty. You know what? You should try chicken, or you should try this particular dish, which is fish, and it is really good. So what, I mean, since we know what is right and wrong, we will not be into that association, and we will start to avoid that association. We will say, I have a bhajan in the temple, so I'm going to go to the temple. See you guys later, something like that. And there, you in the temple, you will have good devotees whom you can associate with. That is why we should be careful where we go, and when we go to college, we make the right choice by also seeing that you are staying close to a place like a temple or devotee or some sort of association. We should always have, because Bharat Maharaj, we all know about him, how he fell down because of no devotee association. So we should always be careful. And also, whenever you make decisions on college, you have to have a temple as one of the criteria for picking a college. Okay, that way you'll be staying with the devotees or in the association of devotees. Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna,
Pranam.
Mataji. You can
So,
adjourn.
okay, so if our session is done, so should we move on calligraphic activity, Mataji?
Sure, Mataji. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Ramayana ki jai. Hare Krishna. Bye kids. Take care.
Thank you so much,
Bye.
Mataji.
Radhika
Thank you.
Mataji ki jai.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna kids. See you next week.
Hare Krishna Kanai, are you there?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, everybody.
Can you on your camera, beta?
Yes. I'm not sure it's working though. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
So you can share the file, right?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Sorry, I forgot. You can continue. Take over your call. You can continue. And Kanai, I can make you a host because I have a one meeting also. So whenever you're done, you can just end your call. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, beta.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
All right.
Mataji.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare
What-
Krishna.
Like, why do you need a rubber?
To erase your pencil.
And like, is rubber and eraser the same?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Okay, so do I need a rubber band?
Screen.
I'm going to share it in a minute.
We don't need a rubber band, do we?
No, an eraser. I'm sorry. Okay. So the theme of today's lesson is basically birthday parties, because whenever you give someone a gift or a present for your birthday, for their birthday, I'm sorry, then you usually attach a tag to it, right? Which says happy birthday from whatever your name is. So I thought maybe we could design these tags today. And this is an example, the one you see here. So I'm going to be teaching you how to make a birthday tag that looks like this. Okay. So you can all take your papers and we can get to work. I basically sketched a tag out here. Oh. Can you all see my screen right now?
No, Mataji.
Okay, so there's been some problem. Can you see it now?
Yes, Mataji. Can you show how to draw the tag?
Sure. I mean, it isn't really important, but because you usually have the tags already, but I can.
Like the top of it.
Yes. So basically what I did here is just I drew a, okay, wrong pen. I drew two lines going down like this. Two horizontal lines. And two vertical lines on the side. And then two slanting lines to connect the vertical and the horizontal line. You can also just draw a square or a rectangle and then cut off the edges. That works as well.
Can you wait a bit?
And then in the end, I just basically did two circles in the middle to show the part where you put the string through. So, I drew bubbles on this chair. They did not count, like for 2 3 seconds. Okay, so if you've done that already, then I'm going to continue. So this is what the end product looks like again. And we're going to be starting with some sketching lines. So make sure that you use your pencil really lightly so it's erasable later on. Don't press down too hard. And we're going to sketch a line in the middle, like this.
Later, are we going to erase this line?
Yes, we are.
Can you show me that again?
The line?
Yeah, like
I'm just estimating the middle of the tag, and then I'm just drawing a straight line down. You can use a, sorry?
how did you make the tag on the top?
Well, I just drew it. I estimated the measurements of the tag, but it doesn't actually matter what the size of your paper is. So you can also just have a normal square that looks like this. And you can have a hole in somewhere where you loop thread through to connect it to your bit. So it doesn't really matter what your tag looks like. Okay, so now remember this line is only for sketching, so don't press down too hard. You want to be able to erase it later on. And then somewhere at the top, we're going to draw a rectangle. And this is going to be our banner later.
All right. So next, you can tell me if I'm going too fast. All right. Next, what I'm doing.
Wait.
Yeah, sure.
I'm still working. How do you draw like the top part of the tag? Like the thing that you hold the tag with? Like when you hang a tag?
I just made 2 circles here to draw the hole, but usually in a real tag, which is made of paper, you can use a hole puncher, a punching machine, to make a hole, and then you can put a ribbon or some.
No, like how do you draw the tag? Like where you hold it from? The string, basically.
How I drew it here.
Yes.
So okay, this is a miniature version. I drew the tag itself.
I mean like the top part.
And then I drew 2 circles in it. Color the middle out. And then I put a string through it. Like this.
So how do you draw that string?
Basically just to make it look like it's going in from the front and then out from the front and then in from the back. You start at the hole, you go out, and then you stop when the tag starts. So you can't see behind the tag. Does that make sense?
A bit.
Okay.
No, like you draw it on the big one. Like what shape did you use?
Oh, I just drew a random line. It doesn't really matter because string kind of doesn't have a shape. So it isn't directly a shape. I just drew a squiggly line that looks like a thread.
Okay, Mataji.
Simple as that. You're welcome. Okay.
Mataji, what is the rectangle for?
That's the banner that you'll see here. This one. This one.
Okay.
Okay. So continuing, to finish the banner, you're going to make 2 more lines on the side that look like this. I'm trying to make sure they're as straight as possible. So one stops where the rectangle starts and the other goes a bit more in, the one that's below the rectangle. And then you can do the same on the other side.
What's the next step?
The next step, if everybody's finished,
Mataji.
okay, I'll continue. I'll still continue because I think quite a few people are waiting now, but I'll do it slowly so you can catch up. So now next we're going to connect these lines. And I just realized I'm doing this on the wrong layer, so okay. So once you've connected those lines, next you want to do is kind of find the middle point between these two lines on both sides, which is here approximately. And then you can connect it to that. You want to make sure it goes a bit more inside, then you have this banner effect. Is it clear until now?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, great. So next, you want to make two slanting lines, a line connecting, maybe I should mark this with a color, a line connecting this point.
Mataji,
Yes?
I'm still working.
Okay, can you tell me where you are?
I'm on I made the box. I'm on the out part.
Okay.
Mataji, I'm not done yet.
Yes, I'll wait for a few minutes.
What's the next step?
The next step is to draw lines between these two spots, but I'm still going to wait until all of you are finished. Can you maybe tell me when you're done?
I'm done.
I'm done.
I'm done.
I'm done.
I'm done.
I'm done.
Okay, great. So is any of you not done?
I'm done.
Wonderful. So we can continue. This is the banner. The banner is finished now. You can add some shading here if you want to, but it's optional. And then,
Color it in?
sorry.
You just color it in?
Yes, you can do that too. But it's optional, so you don't need to. Okay, then you can write the word happy in it.
Can you erase the line in the box?
The standing line.
Yes.
You can. You might still need it. It depends on how good you are in estimating stuff. So you will still need it to mark the heart here and to write the whole letter birthday. But if you're confident enough that you can do it without the line, then feel free to erase it. It's your choice.
Is it okay if we erase the line that's only in the box that we made?
Yes, that's all right. You won't be needing that.
Mataji, do we just write happy?
Yes. I'm just writing it in a half capital font. So it's kind of a more playful twist to the normal one.
We're not writing capital?
Half capital. So all the letters except A are capital in this one.
Why?
It's just the font. So technically just a way to make it look cool. But you can use any font you want. You don't need to do the one I'm doing.
I actually like the font.
Great.
Can you go a little faster? I did I already wrote the happy.
Sure.
Mataji, not too fast because I'm still writing happy.
Mm-hmm. We'll go at a speed that's okay for everybody. So Oh wait.
Mataji, like this?
Your camera is not clear, so I can't see it. Ah, yes, exactly. That looks great, Nihita. Great work. Okay, so I'm continuing. And this is optional. I'm making a little heart here for some decoration. This, and I'm also making a little line. So this is kind of part of the tag, which you can decorate however you like, and you can really get creative here.
Mataji,
Yes.
How far away is the heart?
It doesn't really matter, but I'm trying to place it as much in the middle as I can, between the happy and the birthday part, which is going to come here.
Okay, Mataji.
Mataji, is this the correct way to write happy?
This is mine.
That looks great, Sonia. And Shlok, great work.
I also added like a small smiley face over here.
That's
This.
great work. And Shritan and Lakshmi. That also looks great.
Is this good?
Mm-hmm. That looks great. Okay, so I'm continuing now with the birthday. And basically, birthday has 8 letters. Yes. Birthday has 8 letters, so I'm trying to use that to place a whole word in the middle. So the letters T and H would be here, around the line. So working with that, first I'm going to be making a basic bottom line here, just to make sure the word is straight. And the rest I'm just going to do freehand. Once again, here you can use any font you want. I'm using like a kind of cursive font. But it's completely your choice. I'm trying to place the whole word as in the middle as I can.
I finished writing birthday. Here is my
That looks great, Look. Here's
camera
a
mirrored, so
I'm done writing too. I'm gonna show them.
Does this look good?
I'm gonna fix my camera because it's mirrored. All right, now you can see.
That looks great, Look. And Shriten and Lakshmi. I can't see yours clearly, Ananya.
Now is it clear?
Yes, that
Can you
looks
show
great.
the one that's already done once?
Sorry?
Can you show the drawing that's already done once?
Yes, I can. Looks like this.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. So I'm going to make, oh, no. Okay, I'm going to make that loop now, which looks kind of like a heart. And adding some more decoration. You can now really get creative and draw whatever you want and whatever you think is pretty or cool on your tag. At this point, now you can also erase the helping line. Yeah.
Where do we write our name?
Well, technically you'd write the name on the back of the tag, but you can also kind of sneak it in here if you wanted to.
Okay.
And here's the part, as I said before, here's the part where you can really get creative. So you can add a border if you like. You can even cut a border on the tag with scissors.
Mataji,
Yes.
what are you drawing?
I'm just drawing a border right now, which is kind of like a scallop pattern. But basically I'm just doing different ideas I have. So you can also maybe draw some leaves and flowers. I personally love this style.
Mataji, can you show how you draw the flowers and leaves?
So the leaves is just kind of teardrop shaped on the basic line. The rose here I did by making a big circle. And then just kind of making lines inside it, curling it kind of like this.
Wow.
And at one point you've got a rose. And you can draw leaves next to it.
Wow. That looks more like a candy.
Well, you can draw candies on your tag too if you'd like.
It looks like a candy to me.
Yeah, it does kind of, now that you mentioned it. And the other flowers I just draw by doing 5 petals like this. Okay. So now we've got that done. You can all take pictures of your tag, however you like to decorate it. The pattern was just an idea, so you don't really need to do it like that.
I
And
finished,
really
Mataji.
great work, Shlok. You can take a picture of it later.
Here
Okay.
is what I did.
That looks great.
I added like I added a few smiley faces up here.
I like
And
it.
I also added like a tree, and I also added like I also added a few leaves, but some of them look like corn. And yeah, I also wrote the birthday in a different font.
Great work, Shlok. You can shape your tag however you want. It can also be a circle or maybe a square. So it's all up to you. And yeah, that was it for today.
Mataji, can I show you my tag?
Of course you can. I love to see your
Mataji, can
face.
you put your decorations back? I wanted to copy it.
Oh, okay, sorry. Which one?
The leaf part.
So like this. This is okay.
Yeah.
Great.
I'm just gonna take a quick screenshot.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy. Okay,
I'd love to see your tag.
I'm done.
Great.
Okay.
Mataji, can I show my tag?
Of course. That looks beautiful. Great work. Okay.
Mataji, can you
Mine good.
That looks beautiful, Manhat. Great job. I like
Mataji,
the balloons. Are those balloons on the side?
can you show how to do the rose one more time?
Yes, I can. Just need some space. So I make a circle kind of shape. It doesn't need to be perfect. And then I just draw lines in it. And I'm making sure they're curved because that gives much more of an effect. Like this. And you just keep on spiraling in. And then you can draw leaves around it.
Yep, totally a candy.
Yeah. Like candy. But you can also draw other flowers, like 4-petal ones. You can basically just draw that look the prettiest to you.
Is class over?
Yes, it is. But before you leave, I'd like to ask you one more thing. If you have any suggestions that you would like to do for the next class, you can tell me them, because then I can prepare that. So if there's anything you'd specifically like to learn, then please don't hesitate to tell me your ideas, because I'd love to do that with you then. And I would try my best to incorporate that in our lessons.
Mataji, can I show you mine?
Of course.
Mine did a lot big.
Oh wow. Okay. The camera isn't focusing on it, so I can't see it clearly.
I drew it very lightly. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
But after tracing, I'll show it.
Okay.
Mataji,
Great. Yes.
I don't have any suggestions because I don't know a lot about hand lettering.
Okay, that's no problem. But just in case you have anything you'd like to go through, then feel free to tell me that.
Okay.
Mataji, this is mine. I just added the tag because I forgot about that. And so this is my tag over here to me from me. Bye.
Great work. Goodbye. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Bye.
Hare Krishna, everybody. Goodbye. Nika, would you still like to show me your tag?
Mataji, I'm still working, but I'll send it privately to you.
Okay, that's great. Great, then thank you so much for being here, and I'll close the meeting now.
Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, yeah.